All right guys, we've got an exciting surprise for you right here, Heartbeat Cars in Sydney. Come inside guys, check it out. What's laying beneath these sheets is my new JDM Supercar. Supercar back in its day, 1990, 1991. It won the Bathurst here in Australia. They had to eliminate these guys. They had to get rid of them. So in 92, they couldn't race again. But in its time, it was a supercar. Porsche 930 turbos were cheaper than this car here, brand new apparently. We were told they were 90,000 Australian dollars back in the day. Or you could go buy a Porsche 911 for 75,000 Australian dollars. So back then, people picked that as well as that, but they only sold just over 100 cars, and here it is sitting beneath the sheets. But before that, we're going to take a nice tour and we're going to learn about every JDM car that's here. You know why? Because JDM cars are now ultra collectible. People like me, the guys coming from the Euro side of things, love the JDM cars now. You have to have some of the most iconic cars ever made. But before that, let us take a nice tour around this workshop. Sal.
Lee, how are you, brother?
Good man, good.
How are you?
Good. Okay, we're here with Sal from Heartbeat Cars. Awesome fella. You guys have to check him out, man, and the cars that he has here. Sal, first up, educate us. What is this car?
That's a 1600 Triple S. There's two of them, both 1969. Very, very popular car, similar to the one we had here, but it was a four-door version.
Yep.
That's a Japanese coupe. It's very, very rare and desirable.
So they're desirable now.
Yeah,
everybody
they
talks
nickname
about
it the 510.
Okay, what brand is this exactly,
Well,
so people
in
know?
Japan, it's Nissan. In Australia, they were a Datsun 1600.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, in Japan, they were a Nissan Bluebird Triple S.
Okay, and now this beast, is that the old Skyline?
That's the old Skyline, man.
The one that everybody wants?
Pretty much. Not the first Skyline, like the Prince Skyline, but the second series of Skyline. That's actually a 2000 GT, sort of dressed up to look like the GT-R.
Yep.
That is the Skyline that a lot of people have made.
This made the Skyline, right?
Yeah,
back in the
well,
60s, yeah?
Well, no, 70s.
Oh, 70s.
In the 60s, you had the Prince Skyline, the GTB. We do have one, but it's not here.
Yep.
But this is the car that, one of the Fast and the Furious, they were in Brazil.
Yep.
I don't know if you remember.
I remember watching this
They were driving
thing.
this car.
This car.
Not this particular car.
Same colour?
So I think it might have been black or
Ah, okay.
So it's up there, man. It is. It's up there with the cars.
Man, look where the mirrors sit. I can't believe it. You're sitting here,
You know what?
then they've got fender mirrors there. I haven't seen it. Even on the Ferraris and the Euros, I've never seen that.
No, fender mirrors were sort of standard fitment in Japan. Believe it or not, even the R32 GTR had an option for fender mirrors. And
My
they made,
God.
I don't know how many they made, but there were some made with fender mirrors.
Damn.
Very, 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 it was a big thing in Japan. I don't know if anyone's ever seen like the local Datsuns in Australia, they always had a blanking plate here. And they
Okay.
had mirrors mounted on the doors because those cars were made, the guards were made with holes for fender mirrors.
Damn.
That's why if you look at the old Datsuns, they got like a black blanking plate
Yep.
right here.
Man, the knowledge that Sal has for these cars is unbelievable. You check out the interior. Have a look at the interior, guys.
The period, like bride in Japan is like a Ricardo. Like
Yeah.
It's a big thing. And their period race seats with the mesh headrests.
Look at that.
They were
Just
a trick bit of gear, guys. Look at the instrument cluster, like that, oil pressure bolts, the whole lot, man. This is a really cool car. I've driven it quite a bit, and the thumbs up you get them everywhere, man. People love them.
yeah, there's
People asking
big
me,
respect.
yeah, a lot of respect.
Big respect.
A lot of respect, yes.
This is one car that I know what it is. It's a Toyota Corolla. I think this is the only thing I know, apart from the Skylines. But can you explain what this is, the GT?
The GT, in Australia we did get this model, and back in the day, for you guys who are a bit older, we'll remember everyone was running around in the twin cam Corolla. This is a GT FX, so it's in two-door form. They got a nicer interior. They got this lump on the bonnet. Yeah, it's nostalgic. It's pretty cool. In my era, I remember these cars on the road everywhere. I got respect for them. I do.
Nice. And this is a Sprinter.
Sprinter, yeah, Trueno. This isn't a notchback, but it is a cool model, the two-tone. It's got the motor in it. See, we got these in Australia without a twin cam, without a LSD. A lot of fun to drive.
Okay.
Very taily car.
Naturally aspirated.
Yeah, naturally aspirated, and it makes you feel like you're really driving the car. It's not a lot of power, but the balance is fantastic.
And this thing?
This is a very special car, guys. This is a DR30 RSX Ironmask Type C with an intercooler. This is the last one they homologated for racing, so they had to put an intercooler. They increased the power. They changed the front on them. This is a really beautiful example, guys. Like
yeah, this looks really clean.
It's been off the road. It was only on the road in Japan for 6 years, this car.
So this is a two-door coupe?
Two-door coupe, yeah.
Wow.
DR30, it's the first one with the FJ20. Have a look at the trim, guys. See, you got pump-up seats, a little air pump under the seat to give you lumbar support. It's incredible, man.
Wow. So this is the comfort version of the old. Is this a Skyline?
This is a Skyline.
Original Skyline.
It's the DR30. So in its era, I don't know if you guys remember the Pintara was a four-cylinder version.
Yeah.
Before the R31 came out with the RB, they had a FJ20 turbo. So this is the bee's knees.
Wow.
So it's comfort, sport, fast. It's got the intercooler. These were, I think, the first ones to go to Bathurst.
Wow. Okay, so they had these at Bathurst.
The DR30 is well known, and this is the best model. So it's called RSX Type C with an intercooler.
And reading this, it's only got 23,500 kilometers. Damn, that's amazing.
It spent maybe 5 or 6 years on the road in Japan. It's been in storage since.
Wow.
A nice car to add to the collection.
Yeah, see, guys, I'm actually learning something every day here. So all this JDM, the numbers, just unbelievable. In the European car world, we don't get that. So there's no RX, this, that, whatever. So it's so different, eh? Ferraris, Porsches, it's straight out. The only one that does it is Porsches, right? 911, 930, 928, 944. But apart from that, what is this now?
This is, in Australia, they'll call it a Datsun 240K. In Japan, they'll call it a Skyline. This is actually a really popular car in the GTR versions. When they first came out, they called it the Hakosuka. This was branded the Ken Mary. Then they stopped with the GTR, and they brought the GTR out again with the R32. This car in GTR form is probably the most desirable Nissan, most pricey Nissan that you can get your hands on, man. $500,000 starting price. But this is a beautiful example. But it's just basically a Skyline GT.
Nice.
Pretty
it's very different. It's got that muscle car look to it on the front. You'd think that it's an American muscle car.
Well, the Japanese in the 70s started following the American way. In the later 70s, in the 60s and the early 70s, they were following the Europeans. You can see the way that
you can see. They've changed. Yes. And then right next to it, our favourite car, Nissan Gt-R, the R32, Skyline. The most iconic Skyline out there, and this. The most pristine example. This example here, you wouldn't even sell to me because you want to keep it for yourself. So that's his personal collection, the lowest mileage car, just unbelievable.
One of the lowest mileage R32 GTRs in existence. Still with its original tyres. You've got to get a shot of the trim on this car. I want you to open the door just so you can smell what it smells like inside.
Damn. Okay. Let me get a whiff of this smell. Shit. Man, this still looks brand new inside. It looks brand new. Look at that. The seats aren't faded. It's got everything there. Unbelievable. Yeah, this is such an awesome car. It is.
Have a look at the wheels. The tyres are the original tyres fitted from the factory on this car. RE71 Potenzas, man.
The old original tyres.
They're still dangerous. Obviously, you can't drive on them because they're too old, but they still look like they're brand new, man.
Oh, man. I love this car. I love this colour. And next to it is another beast. So this is your personal car as well,
this car
I
brought in because they're not eligible for import. You can't register these on the road.
Okay.
I came across this in Japan. It's an EVO 4.
Nice.
And I thought I'd get my hands on it because eventually with the new rules, there might be a couple of personal imports, but to import them and get them registered through the raw system, they're not eligible.
So I can't buy this right now today, take it out for a spin with straight rego?
Possibly on Club Rego you could, but no. Now that the rules are changing, as soon as it becomes 25 years old, you'll be allowed to register it, man. I bought it because I thought it was beautiful, and I know one day when they're eligible for rego, I'm not going to be able to get my hands on one.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody loves the EVOs.
Yeah.
But what's this beast next to it? Seriously, what is that Alpha?
This is
back to European. Look at this. Look at that front mount. God.
This is a car I've had pretty much all my life, man. It's a little Alpha with full Subaru running gear fitted to it.
Nice.
So if you want to take a shot of it there.
Yeah, let's check it out.
It's four-wheel drive, EJ25, massive turbo on it.
So is that a flat four?
Flat four Subaru. It's all Subaru. So running gear, engine, diffs, gearbox. It's a WRX with an Alpha shell.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a car I've had my whole life, man, that I just continue to play with.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
Custom interior, all red.
Custom, I kept it European.
Yep,
But,
yep.
you know, we've done the dash in it. If you want to come around and take a shot from this side, it's pretty cool, man. Like, it's got electronic center diff. I made it look like a Euro, bro. Like a nice Italian car, you know? But I've had this car for probably 25 years now, man.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm just tidying it up now, getting it back on the road.
Nice.
But yeah, this is a special car to me. That is.
And what's this thing here?
That's a 240Z. In Australia, they were branded a Datsun 240Z.
Yep.
In Japan, they were a Fairlady Z, and they were branded Nissan. Very popular car. When we get a chance, I'll show you the red one. That's sort of the bee's knees model of it with the long front.
Okay.
Guys, these cars, have you ever driven one?
No,
This
never.
is like, the Skyline wasn't meant to be their sports car.
Yep.
This was.
That.
Mate, sitting, you basically
Nice.
sit on the rear axle. These are a cool car. You got to drive one of these cars. In America, they go mad. For these
People
cars.
love them. You know what? On our channel, we have to. What we have to do on our channel is feature more of these Japanese cars, take them out for a road test review. Maybe Sal can give us a few cars for a day or two.
I'll give you, I'd like to.
And we'll get them out there and we'll just
really
review them. We're going to show you guys how good these are. We have to start appreciating these cars. So right now, they're underappreciated. All the appreciation's in the Euro world. We love the Euro world. We're Euro background, so we love Euro cars, guys. But there's another passion for the Japanese cars. It's that hot scene.
It is.
But
the naturally aspirated engines, honestly, the Z gives you a feel like you're driving a 308. Just the noise.
yeah,
You guys will be really impressed with a 240Z.
yeah, that's something we've got to try.
I want you to take the red one out, man.
Oh,
That's and it's period. So you're really driving it the way it was born, sort of thing. Not over modified. It's just the way they would have had the car back in the 70s.
All right, now this is the Nissan S13, right?
S13, yes.
I like it. It looks good, man.
I can't tell you something. This is a baby R32, and I think out of the S chassis cars, 14 and 15, the S13 is the car. People aren't really appreciating them yet the way they should, but I can guarantee you these cars will start to rise and be chased by guys who want to keep them nice.
Yeah. This looks like a prime example. What mileage is this?
It's got under 100 k's exactly. I've got to have a quick look for you, man. Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. It's not a super high K car. 87 k's.
87 k's.
It is a little bit modified coilover. It's got the wheels, but it's period modified. It suits the car.
Yeah, it does. It does those cambered out wheels at the front as well.
It's
like,
a beautiful example.
it is. No, it looks good. And what's this other beast next to it? Okay, it says GT SX. This is the old Skyline R31, the one that just came before the R32. And this one has a Nismo sticker just for display purposes. Okay, but nice and dark.
This
looks
is a
all
beautiful
original.
car, guys. It is original. Have a look at the trim. You'll fall over. This is a really, really good example, guys. Like,
Wow.
You know cars. Have a look at the trim in this car.
Oh my God, I can see it from here. Look at that.
They've got an electric front lip. You can put the spoiler down.
Oh God.
Lumbar support, like the seats have like pumps in them. They're incredible, man.
And this is addictive. This JDM world, it's another side. European cars are different. They're exciting, but this
Have a look under the bonnet,
is just sensational to know that you can get a Japanese car that still looks brand new today.
Yes.
Like what, 30 years later?
Without being restored, this has got original paint on it. Look, I grew up like you. Japanese cars, you laughed at them. What's a Japanese car? But the Japanese were up there. They done it in a different way, but you can still jump in this car, turn on the aircon, never been gassed, put down the windows, they'll go down without a noise, and really enjoy the car and its power, and be very impressive at it.
You know what's so funny? I've had an employee, he had a Toyota Camry, and he drove it about 160,000 Ks, never serviced a car once, ever. Opened up the engine, the oil, checked it out, sludge, black sludge, and the car kept going. So this Nissan here, I reckon, would keep going, with or without an oil change. But do not try that at home.
No,
do not do that.
This has got an RB20, so very similar to what the GTR had, which was an RB26, still the same family. Twin cam, 24 valve, turbocharged. Very cool car. Like, you know,
so it's still turbo.
You can adjust the dampers to hard and soft. Like, they had all these cool options.
All that little gadget, which is right now the latest in European technology, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Look, obviously a lot more advanced, But the Japanese were building, for example, you'll get a Mercedes-Benz of the day today, it will have 50 computers in it.
Yep.
The R32 GTR has probably 10.
Yeah.
For its day, it was
Also,
all
that was pretty much
self-diagnosed.
a lot.
You can diagnose the aircon from the unit. You jump in the boot, there's another computer for the high gas. You
Wow.
can count the flashes. Like the Japanese, yes, they didn't design it, but they saw what other guys were doing and made it better.
Okay. Yeah, they worked on
and
that.
simpler.
Yeah, as you can tell. And now, tell me about this. This is the Autech, right?
Guys,
The Skyline Autech, one of 201 cars ever made,
One of 201 cars.
and possibly the only one in Australia.
I could probably possibly say very confidently, this is the only Autech R32 in Australia.
And you know me, I love the rarest cars. F40, Carrera GT, Porsche 918, all of them, right?
Yeah.
This is a car that I might want to take. It's a 4-seater. At least I can fit the baby in the back seat.
Exactly right.
Right? 5-seater, 4-door. That, hey, look at that interior.
The interior's beautiful.
That
The floor
interior,
mats are still
oh
brand
god.
new.
Look at the floor mats.
The Autech came only in this colour, in automatic, with an RB26, which a lot of people don't know, but naturally aspirated.
So it's the naturally aspirated version
of a
of the
GTR.
GTR. Same engine, yeah?
It's tuned by Autech in Japan, so very, very highly strung. They rev, honestly, like a motorbike.
So what's the maximum rev?
Tuned by Autech of about 8,000 RPM.
Wow, 8,000
Tune
RPM.
length extractors from the factory, people wouldn't have never ever seen something like this.
Nah.
Because you see an RB26, it's always got turbos on it.
And everybody bought Honda S2000s because they went up to 9,000 or 8,500 RPM, right?
Nissan were doing it back in the day.
Yeah, Nissan was doing it back then.
Factory cold air intake, it looks like an intercooler pipe. Like
Yeah.
There's a cold air box underneath there, like that.
Wow, so it's all just hidden.
Yes.
Damn. No, I like this colour. This is a cool car.
This is
Very
probably
cool car.
I could very confidently say the only one in Australia.
Awesome car.
Very
And what about this R32
We've got a beautiful
GTR
R32
in Burgundy?
We've actually just sold this car. Burgundy, it's a Series 1, but have a look at it, man. It's in beautiful condition.
Yeah, that's an amazing
Interior's-
car.
The interior's outstanding. They actually look beautiful in this.
I love
under
that
100
colour.
Ks, yeah, it looks nice in real life.
Yeah, it does.
Like I used to say, I would never, if you looked at the brochure, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Black, grey, maybe white.
Yeah,
But when you see the burgundy in real life, it's actually a beautiful colour.
yeah, it is.
A lot
It
of
is.
Australian delivered cars were in this colour too.
Yeah, I noticed
It's
that.
like they didn't, the cars they couldn't sell or whatever they sent here, because it wouldn't have been the most desirable colour of the day. You're a young buck, you want to buy a nice sports car, you know,
Yeah.
I want a black car.
Yeah, it's a
or-
different
it's a
colour,
different
you know. It's
colour.
not like a red that you find in a Ferrari.
No,
Or
exactly
the Porsches,
exactly
right? The old 911 in the 70s, everyone wanted them in red.
Yes.
Guards red. Or Ferrari, Rossa Corsa.
Exactly right.
And right next to it, so everyone can see in comparison what a burgundy colour, that deep red,
Yeah.
looks like compared to a white Skyline. Personally, I'm not a fan of the white GTRs.
Yeah, I agree with you there. They
Yeah.
they don't pop in white.
It doesn't show all the lines, right? As say, that shows it.
Yes.
A darker colour shows it. Even that Autech colour there is
No, I
sensational.
agree with you. The white looks a little bit. It's not my colour of choice now.
But this car
Guys,
is a car of choice.
This is a
V-Spec
beautiful-
too.
V-Spec 2, one of 1301 cars built. This was an auction grade 4.5, outstanding car.
Yeah, this is amazing.
If you want to have a look
Wow.
at the trim down, still factory stereo mounted.
Wow.
It's a beautiful car.
It's
It really
good
is.
condition. So if there's a V-Spec 2 to have right now, this is it. I haven't seen an example like this. Like, you know, we've been looking for GTRs for a long time. We waited until you came across with an awesome car to show us, but this is an awesome car. This is a prime example. Like, wow. And I've noticed it's got all the N1 body
It's got
kits
M1
on it.
gear it's got the M1 nose, the M1 lip. I sort of shy away from them a little bit. The M1 pods at the back,
Yep.
I prefer them without it, to be honest
But,
with you.
okay, let's try and educate some people here. Through my research, correct me if I'm wrong, I found out that the V-Spec 2 weighs 50 kilograms more than a normal GTR, than a
yes.
baseline. So to the purists that want to go racing,
Racing, yes.
weight is a lot. 50 kilograms is a smaller female,
Yes.
male,
Yes.
whatever it is, even a
Exactly
bigger
right.
child, right?
Exactly right. That's
So,
exactly right.
it's one less person in the car
Yes.
in a normal GTR, base GTR, And these came with the BBS wheels. So the V-Spec one had just the BBS and the Brembo brakes.
Brembos, yes.
That's all they say was the difference.
They went with the wheels just to accommodate the Brembo brakes because they were larger.
They were,
there is a couple of changes to the diff, but they're basically the same car. If we go back, the most desirable R32 is the Nismo.
Yeah.
And it's basically an early model car without a radio, without volume switches, with no ABS.
Oh,
they just took parts off the standard GT-R.
Yeah,
so this is the Nismo pretty much.
And lightened it,
And lightened the car up, and it had a little bit more power, but it was the same car, guys.
Same car.
And that's a good thing. From the beginning to the end, besides a few changes, the same car.
Yeah, because the difference between the V-Spec, the normal V-Spec, and the V-Spec 2 was just the tyre size. From 225, it went to 250. Yes. Oh, sorry, 245. Where did I come up with 250 from?
Also, the brakes, like we mentioned already, and there was a change to the diff and a couple of other very, very subtle changes.
Yeah, just subtle changes. But nevertheless, V-Spec 2 is a V-Spec 2, hands down. Right. That's it. It's rare.
Yes,
it's rare.
Well, when you consider they made 40,000 GTRs, they made 1,301. It's a very rare car.
Yeah, exactly.
It's, you know yourself, it comes down to the numbers of the car.
Well, now let's look at the best Euro car that you have right here.
Yes.
The 911 930 Turbo. Look at this prime example.
This is a beautiful
Describe
car,
this car.
I actually purchased this for myself off the dealer in Japan who sold it brand new. So it's only ever had one owner, full service history and logbooks. It's never had any paint work at all, original paint, never been in an accident. That is a beautiful 930 Turbo. There are plenty running around, you know that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of Frankensteins in those words to say.
Yeah, people used to chop these cars up because they never knew that the values were going to be where they are today. You're looking at minimum 150k,
exactly right.
up to 250k for a good 930 Turbo.
And I'll ask you this because you know, you've driven a 930, you've driven an F40. They were meant to be against each other.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think?
Oh, give me the F40 any day, but that's a different drive, right?
Different drive.
But for an everyday,
yeah,
and a nice sports car, they can easily take it, take it out during the week, or weekdays, or weekend. You can use this. Well, this was nicknamed the Widowmaker, the original Widowmaker, rear-wheel drive, turbocharged, flat six, all the power to the rear, unbelievable. And they weighed nothing, next to nothing.
Back then you had turbo lag, so
you can feel the turbo.
There, waiting, and then it's like 10 bulls just kick you in the ass, and you're trying to hold on for dear life.
I love that rear fender, how wide it is. These are still the most iconic Porsches ever made. So right next to it, we've got this Datsun. Explain this car. It looks hot.
This is basically, we're having a look at the maroon one a little bit earlier. In Australia, they were called 240Z. In Japan, they were the Fairlady. But this, as you can see, has got the long nose on it. L20, so straight 6 EFI. This is the bee's knees of this range of the Fairlady. Have a look at the interior, the gauges. This was Japan's sports car. It was never meant to be the Skyline. This was the car. It'll blow your mind. Have a look at the interior. I don't know if you notice the little buttons in the seats.
Those wide arches, unbelievable.
Have a little 3-spoke steering wheel. That was Datsun Sports steering wheel back in the day. All the gauges.
So that's all original.
All original.
That interior is all original. My God, when you compare it to a European car of its era, this leaves it for dead.
You know what? I'm so happy you said that. It does.
It's unbelievable.
And it's so usable. Everything's at your fingertips. And you know, I used to think only the Europeans know how to make things look good.
Yeah, they make them look good.
When I sat in this
but they
car
fall apart good.
Looked at the dash, I said, hey, this is up with the Alfa 105 of the day.
Yeah.
This is incredible. And
it is
more comfortable to drive.
It is.
I'll just give you guys a little look at the motor as well, man, over here.
Now let's check out this engine. So what engine sits beneath this?
It's an L-series engine. In that day, Nissan and Datsun, they had L's. So it was L's, like the Datsuns have an L16, which is a 4-cylinder straight 6. Basically what they did was, you would know this, the early Benz is a straight 6.
Yep.
They copied that motor, put a double row timing chain because they always used to break.
Yep.
And they came up with a perfect Benz motor basically in it. That's what they did. Have a look at this, guys. Of its day, remember back in the day.
That is a big 6-cylinder engine in this small car.
The Europeans had that, like we were talking about earlier, the KJ Tronic that was a headache.
Yeah.
Multi-point fuel injection.
Wow. What year model is this car?
This car's 1976.
Wow. Wow.
20 in a standard form, and you know what? It really performs well, and they sound incredible.
Well, okay. What is the value of a car like this? This car here.
This car here is $88,000. In Australia, they're a little bit slow to keep up with it because people are still comparing it to the 240 Z.
Yep.
Datsun. They're basically the same car, but the Fairlady has prestige in the US. A car like this is more for the overseas market.
Yep.
But yeah,
it's not as appreciated.
That little light over there. All the early Datsun, you flick the switch, you can see what you're doing on the engine bay. The battery's probably flat.
Look at that. Oh, okay, battery's flat, but that light,
engine
awesome.
Bay light, all the early Nissans had that. Like, and look how they were built. Vacuum servo on the brakes, without a shadow of a doubt. It wasn't an option. They had it.
Yeah.
They had a radio. I wish I had the print Skyline to show you. Heater, factory radio, booster, servo on the just
non-existent back in the day.
And the Europeans, you have to pay through the nose to get that. It's incredible. Incredible.
It is a nice
you
machine.
Guys are gonna take this car out.
Now we're going to have to take this for a spin.
This one you have to.
Okay, and now, I've noticed that you love Alfas.
I got a soft
Yeah,
spot for Alfa
yeah,
Romeo.
yeah. Every Italian does.
Yeah, not
Look
every
at that.
Italian. I do, man. I've got a soft spot for two Alfas. The Alfa Sud's my favourite, and I've always had a soft spot for the Spider. I don't know if you remember. You guys remember? Did you ever watch Double Impact with Van Damme?
Yeah.
Remember his father's security guy was chasing those guys when they went to kill him, and
Yep.
he came around the corner sideways in one of these.
Oh, and these.
Yeah, with the roof. I think he had the roof off. He did have the roof off. A cream
Oh,
one.
that's so cool.
So I've always had a soft spot for the Spider.
Yeah, no,
Since
they're a
it's
cool
iconic.
car.
It's,
Yeah,
When you think of an Alpha, I think of the Spider.
yeah, true. A lot of people say that.
This was sold brand new in the US.
Yep.
Didn't spend a day on the road. Bought by its Japanese owner and brought to Japan. Spent its whole life there.
Wow.
So hard top, soft top.
So the hard top comes off.
Comes off, and you got the soft seats underneath. You can pull it up.
Oh, perfect.
So in winter you stay warm, and in summer you can have a bit of fun.
And now, the next car, all European fans love this car. The BMW E30 M3. Oh my God, still in its original form, left-hand drive. Because they never made them in right-hand drive. Only one.
I was told only one, car number one. Maybe I'm wrong. Car number one was right-hand drive.
Wow.
The rest were left-hand drive from the factory.
Wow. Yeah, they always look good in white, man. White or silver and black. So a lot of people like them in red, but white suits this car. It suits it.
And you know what? This is a German car with a bit of JDM in it as well.
Yes, it's been mixed up a bit.
I'll show you something mixed up in the right way. Not anything that would ever hurt what it really is.
Yeah.
And anyone who knows the JDM cars will notice stuff straight away.
BMW M Power, look at that.
The original engine, carbon air intake, but what the Japanese had done, because the Euros had unreliable coils, then they had electrical problems. They fitted S15 Nissan coils,
Yep.
an S15 pickup, and replaced the ECU with a Japanese aftermarket unit. The car starts on half a turn, runs like clockwork, and flies.
All right, now, Sal, what's this? This says S for Skyline. It's got a Skyline badge.
It's a Nissan Skyline. It's the one after that Datsun that we were looking at a bit earlier. Nissan took away the GT-R variant when these cars came out, but this is the first Nissan Skyline ever to be fuel injected turbocharged. So it had a bit of fathering towards the GT-R. This is another beautiful example, guys. Have a look at the coachwork. It looks like Mercedes leather to me.
It
Look how the
does.
Japanese trimmed the steering wheel. Isn't that incredible?
It is.
That's a standard steering wheel retrimmed.
Wow.
And smell, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
They look like Mercedes-Benz seats to me.
They do.
Guys,
they
some
do.
of the work you get out of Japan is incredible, man. The standards are very, very high. Yes, they have some bad ones, but the standard's very high. I'll show the engine on this as well.
Nissan Turbo in large.
So again, it's got the same family engine like the 240 we looked at a little bit earlier.
Straight six.
Straight 6, L20, 2 litre, factory turbo, multi-point fuel injection.
Wow.
This car's not for sale yet, we're just sorting out a few little anomalies with it. But not as desirable as the earlier ones, but certainly a car you want to have if you're into Skyline.
Yeah, if everyone
Especially being
wants.
turbocharged. Still a nice looking car, but again, like you were saying, got that American bulky
Yeah,
look.
it's a
Big
boxy.
bumper bars, yes.
Yeah. It is. And what's this little beast sitting right beside it? It's in matte black.
It is in matte black, man.
Is that sprayed matte black?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so aftermarket paintwork.
Yes.
Okay, but it looks cool on this
Right,
car.
this
It's got
is a cool car.
wide fenders,
Wide
man.
fenders,
Look at that.
Big dish on the wheels. This is a Bluebird 610, so we're looking at the 510s earlier.
Yep.
So Nissan Bluebird
Towards the entrance.
610,
Yep.
yes. These did come into Australia, but they were branded the Datsun 180B. I don't know if a lot of you guys know that the 180B was assembled in Australia,
Yep.
and they had to use certain parts that were made here. So we didn't get the beautiful tail lights, the nice badging, the nice headlights, but a very, very iconic car, and a lot of the older guys from the 70s will remember the 180B. Very, very popular car. Have a look at the trim lights, at the dash. It was a pretty cool sports car. Have a look at the 8-track player in the middle. You can see it there. Isn't that cool?
Look at all the gauges on the dash. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row.
You know, the Holdens of the day, that was an option to have that.
Wow.
But they had tape decks, radios, the whole lot. Again, like I was saying, vacuum servo on the brakes. The Triple S came out with twin carburetors. I'll give you guys a look at the engine on this. It's pretty cool. That's a period race seat, a Japanese race seat. The engine bay is all original. This car was originally silver.
Okay.
But in beautiful condition, man.
Yeah, that looks clean.
It's beautiful. So it's an L series, looks exactly like that, but with 2 pistons chopped off.
Okay, so 4-cylinder.
It's 4-cylinder, yeah. And these were a 1.8 litre.
Wow. It's a small motor.
Twin carburetors, but you know what? When you compare it to the Euros of the day, very powerful, man. Like,
Yeah.
and usable and reliable. You know? You know yourself, the European cars, you've got to be careful how you drive them. They're fragile. You can't ring them all the time.
Yeah,
You're
yep.
getting this day and night, ring
Can
its
have
head
so
off,
much fun.
and every second, and it starts without an issue. That's what you got to give the jobs. And still finished beautifully. Chrome work everywhere. Guys, this is a very, very cool car if anybody knows what they are.
So this is built for Group B rally.
Rally, Renault 5 Turbo 2. Basically, Renault took the standard 5,
Yep.
chopped it all up, mid-mounted the engine.
So 4-cylinder engine.
Cylinder, turbocharged, intercool as part of the intake manifold, like I was telling you guys before. Basically a hand-built sports car.
How many did they make?
5,000 in total between the Turbo 1 and the Turbo 2. I want to show you one of these car because you'll be very impressed.
Okay. Look at all these air intakes, the inlets and everything. This is the same design as a Ferrari F40. Have a look at this inlet here, this intake. This design, this shape looks exactly, reminds me of the bonnet scoops on the Ferrari F40.
Mid-mounted, look where the gearbox is, does it look like a Ferrari?
Yeah, it
So
is.
it's mounted behind the engine. They put 2 big tubular rails through the centre of these cars and basically hand-built a race car.
Wow.
Doesn't it remind you that the back of the gearbox is right
Yeah,
here? Just like a Ferrari.
yeah, right at the back bumper.
Yeah, when I put it up, I was like, this looks like a Ferrari. The wishbone suspension is like a Ferrari,
Yep,
all
yep,
hand-built.
yep.
So
Yep.
very, very impressive.
I
car.
can't believe how you have an engine inside the car. Sitting
Basically,
inside, you get the fumes, you get
You
that
get the
smell,
fumes.
yeah.
At the traffic lights, you need to open the door.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't really meant for the road. It's a rally car. And
So
that's what
just
it is.
racing around. And I've never seen one on the streets before. Never.
I think there's one other one in Australia from what I've been told,
Yep.
but I don't know.
Okay.
It's like me and you love cars. I saw one of these, it's like, I want that.
Yeah.
'Cause that just looks insane.
It does look insane. It's so imposing. Somebody sees it. It's so wide body. I've heard that these exhausts scream. They shoot out flames. Do they have cats? No cats. Just straight through exhaust. And the engine's just sitting here. So just a muffler that's sitting right here. Exhaust is right there. There's not even like, what, about 80 centimeters between the engine and the exit pipe. Unbelievable. This would be a fun car to drive. When it's ready, you got to let me know. I've got to try and take it for a spin.
You do. Have a look at the extractors. They wound them right onto this side and set the turbo there. Like it's Formula One. It looks like a little Formula One engine.
Yeah, that is cool.
That is cool, man. You will love this. I'm telling you now.
Now, to the main attraction, the star of our show is there. And we're going to unveil my new beast. So this is my first JDM car. As we said, two-time Bathurst winner. They've won heaps of Japanese races around the world.
They smashed the worldwide.
Yeah, they smashed it. They had to, they prohibited them from racing in Australia in 1992 because they just wiped out the competition.
They were miles ahead.
Because of their turbo.
The setup, the four-wheel steer, the engineering. Japan just said, you know what, we haven't made a GT-R. They sat down and they produced the most advanced car of its time. And I mean, it was so far ahead of everything else, manufacturers might have caught up a year ago.
Yeah.
And one of probably the best sports cars that I know of all time, and up there with the Europeans. I'll tell you now.
It is. Well, this is a pristine example.
It really is, Lee. To actually find these cars still with the original suspension, original airbox, it still has its original cassette deck fitted. Just keep it in mind, back in the day, especially the Japanese, they were all about technology. When CD players came out, every car had a CD player.
Yeah, everybody replaced them.
One that hasn't had the trims taken off, to have the stereo replaced. Even the rear trims around the windows aren't bubbled at all. This is a beautiful car, man. With its original wheels, it does have the Nismo exhaust option upgrade, and it's pretty cool.
From factory?
Yeah, carbon fibre tip, you'll be really impressed with that. And actually a really desirable part on the market. People are really after those.
Nice.
And it's in the right colour too, man.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad it's gone to you, and you're going to enjoy it. And
I'm excited. I'm excited. All right. Let's unveil this. Here it is, guys. This is my first JDM sports car. Here it is. The Nissan R32 Skyline Gt-R. Low mileage, pristine example. You guys heard it direct from Sal himself. Original paint. We've put the paint depth tester all over the car. Original 110 microns on the paint. Some panels as thin as 87. This is sensational. Old rubber.
Still fitted with its original cross-tube disc, so it's never had discs replaced. That tells you that it hasn't even had a hard time in its life. It's a beautiful car.
No rust. Absolutely amazing
The car's
underneath.
Never been on the snow. It's got full service history, logbooks, all from Nissan. Last service was done in Japan 6 months ago, was it?
Yeah, yep.
So all up to date, guys. Very impressive.
Look at this.
The Nismo exhaust with the carbon fibre tip. Of the time, that was the best money could buy, Lee.
Yeah. I love that. That's so different. It's so 90s. Look how big it is. It's just so overkill.
Big and quiet.
Yeah, it's quiet.
You don't hear it. It doesn't drone in the car.
And no aftermarket sound system in the back there, in the back parcel.
Basically, this car hasn't got an aftermarket part on it. If you want to say the oil filter's aftermarket, it's not the original one the car came with, obviously, and the tyres.
Yeah.
But nothing has been changed on this beauty.
Let's show people the interior. Look at that. The doors, the trim, everything looks sensational. Looks brand new. The floor mats, Nismo mats, everything about this car is absolutely stunning. Low mileage example. The steering wheel, the gear knob, everything is just... I just can't explain it. The smell that you get in this car when you open the door, the old seat belts, everything is just original tags here, original door decals, the stickers here, just everything's so right. It's just right. I've got to show people the engine bay. We've got to explain this engine. Okay. So the RB26, correct me if I'm wrong, 2.6 litre, twin turbo, 6-cylinder.
Twin cam, 24 valve, probably Nissan's best engine in my opinion.
Yeah, everybody says that. Bulletproof.
Compared to what they've got today, but still probably their best engine. And look, even the original battery shield is still around the battery. You know,
which is
people
rare.
use this sort of stuff.
Well, this engine...
hose clamps. It hasn't had hoses changed and radiators taken.
It's just an original car. Well, okay, this engine, 276 horsepower. It's capped because of a gentleman's agreement amongst all the manufacturers. So everybody said these put out 312 horsepower out of the just out of the box, straight out. And we've been told there's a restrictor. Where is it? Show us.
You see this little yellow mark? This is the actual boost controller.
Yep.
This little yellow mark, you can't squeeze the hose. There's a metal restrictor in there. If you pull that out, it increases the boost pressure and you get that power that they dropped it down.
Wow, wow. So it's just a beast. Out of the bat, it's just a beast of a car. Just stunning, This example here, I'm just so excited.
Well look, Nissan made a four-wheel drive car that doesn't look four-wheel drive. Do you know why? The diff, the front diff, on most four-wheel drives you have the engine on top of the diff.
Yep.
The diff's part of the sump. So it's all incorporated in it. That's why the car's still got a low, sleek look.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like for example, the Commodore they made four-wheel drive.
Yep.
It looks like a four-wheel drive because the engine's on top of a diff, where this they incorporated everything. It's incredible.
Wow. And it's not a full-time all-wheel drive, right?
It's mostly rear-wheel drive until it senses the torque through a sensor on the back of the gearbox and drives the drive to the front wheels. But it's predominantly a rear-wheel drive car, sorry.
Yep, and it's also got a gauge on the
dashboard to tell you how much drive is going and from the rear to the front.
And out of excitement, I've got to show people the actual original books. This car, so we've got the export certificate. And look at this, the original book, so the original manual, all right? And then we've got the original service book from day one that showcases.
It's got both its original keys, the original GT-R key and the spare key, still the Nissan key. Let me pull this out for you guys. This is its original service book that they were still stamping up to last year.
Wow.
The car's details and the VIN number there. And the Japanese are very methodical when they fill in their documents, guys. It's not like when you get a service here. I'll just get to one of those pages and show you that it's mind-blowing. Every service, they go through a check sheet, they tick everything, they put percentages down. We're probably going back to when the car was new here.
Yeah, 1990. Unbelievable.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, look at that.
And
Back
it just
then.
goes on and on and on. But to get a book like this with a car, it's very important.
Yeah, it is, which most cars here in Australia don't have them.
No.
People don't have books, they don't have the original keys.
They don't.
Look at that, full detail of every service. They've ticked off the timing belts, checking the brakes, the clutch,
Little pictures.
everything, little photographs that show people, like, it's just unbelievable.
And the Japanese are very methodical people. There's a system in place and they follow that system. It's incredible. Guys, you got to go to Japan too.
Yeah, we've got to see it ourselves.
Here you go, brother. Congratulations,
Cheers.
man.
Thanks, man.
I'm actually really thrilled that someone of your caliber with the cars you have are appreciating these cars because they really deserve it, man. It's been a long time coming, and I know, yes, you've got the best of the best, but you're really going to enjoy this car.
Well, you know one thing? Through my research, Kerry Packer had two of these brand new. And I don't know him to have Ferraris or Porsches. I just haven't heard it. He probably does, but everybody talks about his GTRs.
Yes.
But here's my GTR. Thanks, Sal.
My pleasure, man.
Here's the original key. And we're going to now take this for a spin. But guys, in our next episode, we're going to review this car. So you're going to see a full review of this beast, the GTR Godzilla. Thanks.